Following up on our first municipal candidate spotlight, we would like to ask you again about your views on supporting existing businesses as well as bringing new businesses to the area. What do you think is the city's role in economic development activities, and how should the city balance that with citizen concerns about quality of life issues?
Good question. Especially today, as we sit 9 days after a hurricane and we look around at our city and reevaluate what we value and what's important to us as a community. I think the health of our businesses is critical for our city, but there's some things that have to be in place first. You need to have education, which the city has done. You need to have medical. You need to have homes and jobs to be able to attract the types of businesses that might diversify us from being so heavily in the tourism bucket to bring in new different types of businesses, or even attract work from home. I mean, with COVID, with so many people now working from home, why not try and reach out to those young starter families or couples or professionals where they can work in an environment that's pleasing to them and then go out and enjoy the beach. I mean, if I were at that age, that would be very desirable with the trend of working from home. As far as the city's concerned, I think working with the commercial properties that are for sale and trying to make those connections with the right types of businesses to bring in, to attract to Gulf Shores. And I think we need to do a lot of that right now in our recovery mode. I mean, we are in a position where we need to retain what we have, and that's important too. Not just always attracting the new, but retain or encourage the small businesses, locally owned businesses. Putting the right business in the right place at the right time could be monumental for our community, because I worry that over the next 4 months we might see some with COVID and now the hurricane. It's hard to maintain. The city has to have an active role in that, and as candidate for place 2, I want to be part of that brainstorming session to do what's right for our community.
Secondly, we would like to ask you more about some of the workforce development issues facing our area. We are encouraged to see and hear about many new investments that are being made in our education systems to one day soon provide workforce development training opportunities to our local students. However, little has been done to address the workforce housing issues, and many of our citizens may not know or support these issues. What do you think the city's role should be in encouraging and supporting more affordable housing options in our city?
That's a big question, and one that is near and dear to my heart. And for the survivability of our community, or not survivability, but to sustainability, we need to have the right balance of the different ages of our community. And workforce housing is a big part of that. I see so much growth in Foley in the apartment realm, and they're building a lot of multifamily units, and they're renting quickly, and it's hard to find places there. And I feel like the workforce that we have today, they're driving in, they're commuting, their cars on the roads to get to their jobs 24/7, depending on, in the hospitality industry or in those different areas. We don't have a lot of options. Shoot, we're seeing that today. We have families in need. We have families that have been displaced or trying to be displaced. We have families living in tents and in their cars right now because their homes are uninhabitable. And there is no easy short-term, even temporary housing, which seems so ludicrous when we live in an environment with so many rentals. But they're not set up, or right now they're not able to accommodate the needs that we have of families that need a temporary place to live while their homes are being restored. And although our community has benefited from Katrina, when a lot of people came and moved here, they were displaced, and they have made a home and created jobs and businesses for our community, and they're part of our community now. I would hate to lose what we already have and lose some really good community influencers and people because there's nowhere for them to go. I don't know how you fix that overnight. It's not like a magic fairy dust that you can just sprinkle, but I think with really responsible growth, the city can help guide that process.
Finally, this last question is an open-ended question just for you. What do you see the biggest challenge facing Gulf Shores over the next 4 years, and how would you like to address that challenge?
You need to vote for me. That's a top. That will give us 4 years, and my expertise and my care and my unique vision and perspective into city council. I wouldn't be here if I didn't feel strongly that that is important for the next 4 years, to have a different perspective, to have a collaborator and a contributor in the Place 2 space, so that we can take the 2025 vision and build on that while doing day-to-day work in the city, but really building a strategic plan for 2035. I think we're at a real tipping point there, especially since the community and the strategic plan, there's some differences in what direction we should go. I think now it's so important that we all work together to get on the same page, to start really fine-tuning the plan, do, check, and act. We have a plan, we need to check it. Is it doing what we expect it to do? And if not, we need to act and make some changes in the direction. I think we need to continue forward with a lot of the great initiatives that the City of Gulf Shores, the city and the City Council have done over the last 8 years to move us in that direction of a vision. Without a vision, kind of like a puzzle. There are a lot of working pieces, and if you don't know, you can start on the edges on a puzzle, you can start with color combinations and feel like you're making progress, but if you don't have the cover of that puzzle box, you have no idea what you're working towards. And I really am I'm a strategic planner. I believe in it. I think it's absolutely critical to have a structure of a plan where not only is the City Council's decisions, but all department decisions are in alignment with where we want to go. That's the basis for Malcolm Baldrige winners. Okay, so taking that one step further, I do feel that what is most important for me as a City Council member is to help bridge the gap between the community, the local residents, and the City Council. I think there's some issues there. I've seen them, I hear about them, I'm concerned about it. I think it's a culture thing, and I think it's really easy to fix, but it's going to take some change of perspective, remembering who your customers are. It's not just the department, or it's not just your manager, it's the people that call, it's the residents, it's the businesses, it's the contractors, you just have to shift your mindset. I kind of think we're doing it right now. I think Sally gave that to us in a way where we have really re-honed in on taking care of ourselves and taking care of others. And that is a great leaping point that we can, I can help lead that with my experience and my demeanor and what I can bring to the table.